why don't, instead of using breakout rooms, why don't you go first, Sue, and talk about your goals for your relationship with Ray, and then Ray will go next and talk about his goals with your relationship. And while the other one is talking, I want you to just look each other in the eyes the entire time. I never want you to look at me and don't look at, the video of yourself. I want you to look at each other while you're talking. Okay, and I still have the dolly candle burning, so let's remember that.
Okay, so we'll go now.
Yes, so let's do goals for now.
One goal, or this is really challenging, Mary. Should I just do one goal?
Yes, thank you for clarifying. That's very important. We don't want to have more questions. We want more answers than questions. So yes, one goal for your relationship, and then go ahead, Ray, after you, Sue.
Okay. Okay, so can I ask another question, Mary?
Of course.
If there's something that I feel like I really need to work on in our relationship, is that considered a goal for the relationship, or is that too self-centered?
No, that would qualify. That would be fine. It can be just for you, for the relationship.
So
it's really whatever comes to mind. Just whatever comes to mind, just spit it out. Just throw it out there. Okay.
My goal is to be more patient. It's simple. It's simple, but maybe not so easy.
Do I need to?
Just a moment. I'm going to write that down. Okay.
My leader hat's downstairs, but can I just pretend I have it on?
Yeah. I mean, you can do one of those.
Oh, okay.
Just sort of a mime it. There you go. Mm-hmm.
Well, I just would like there to be less stress in our lives and in our relationship. And we thought that maybe changing the sides of the bed would bring less stress and kind of give us a new perspective, but it brought a lot more stress. So that was just difficult for us and for the cats. And yeah. Did I say that that was a goal?
Yes, that was, yes. Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I looked away from Sue. Is that okay?
Sue, how did that make you feel when Ray looked away from you?
It was okay. It was okay. Yeah.
Okay.
The goal felt genuine.
Can you move Tickles out of the frame for me?
Oh, sure. It's okay, Tickles. You can be over here now.
That was great. That was great. There's one other thing I want to talk about, which is collaboration. Okay. Collaboration is a word that gets thrown around a lot when we're talking about people working together on a shared goal, a common goal, right? So everybody's pitching in, it's teamwork. I say no to this, you say no to that. We find that we say no, 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 no. We slowly work our way towards the middle, and eventually we have something yes-ish, a yes-like or yes adjacent sort of answer that gives this side of the camp a little bit of some of what they want in this side of the camp. So that, collaboration and compromise, those two words often go together. But I want to talk about a different kind of collaboration, because right now we're seeing a lot of content and not a lot of art. So I would like to see an artistic collaboration between the two of you happen. And I'm thinking if we've got ourselves a watercolor artist and a clay artist, I'm thinking claymation. It's very time intensive. It takes a long time to, the stop motion. And then also it takes a lot of communication. So one person is doing, the and the other one is sort of doing the camera work, if you will. So it's not up to me. It's your artistic collaboration. But I would like to see some, I'm not saying it has to be claymation. We don't see a lot. We don't see enough claymation, in my opinion. But if you were to do claymation, that's just an idea. I'm just putting it in the pot. Okay. How is this going for you? Do you feel like this is what you wanted to get out of this situation? I want you guys to talk more. I think, it's been a lot of homework and a lot of goals. So I want you guys to tell me a little more. How's it going?
It's going okay. I'm wondering what I was a little thrown off though when you said something about cat paraphernalia. So
Oh yeah.
a little tight or anxious about that. And
it's not that it's not that it's a personal taste thing or anything like that. It's more about the capturing of an animal's spirit in an inanimate object. But that,
which is why I want to get a kitten.
I'm going to circle back to that in a moment, but I wanted to just apologize because this relationship is collaborative as well. And sometimes if I express an opinion, oh, hello. Hello. Who's this?
Well, do you want her original name or the name that now been given?
All of the names.
Well, we call her Vivian, but she was Bongo when she was first rescued.
Thank you for sharing Vivian with me, or Bongo. I just want to say that nobody is perfect. And it was probably me, crossing some kind of a line here when I gave you my opinion of cat paraphernalia. This is about the two of you. This isn't about my opinion of cat paraphernalia. I don't have any in my home, but it's okay if you do have it in your home. Do you understand what I'm saying with that? I'm not, I'm okay. I can backpedal. I'm comfortable with that. And that is what a relationship is, right? Is some compromise. But here I am talking again. I want you to talk some more.
Make sure of that because I think I need to have trust in the person that I'm working with in regards to cats because it is a huge part of my life. So I just wanted to kind of make sure that we were on the same page with that and that I felt comfortable sharing anything that might come up in regards to that. Because it has a lot to do with our relationship. Yeah. So thanks. Yeah, that's helpful.
I really liked what you said about collaboration, about not enough art, lots of content and not enough art. That really was a powerful moment for me. And I feel like a little light went on when you said that. And so I was excited to jump in with that. I don't know. We'll try to make a claymation. It'll probably be about cats.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. It would probably be about cats. A lot comes up for me though when I think about doing a collaboration, so it's a good maybe thought experiment for right now.
What do you think about that goal of wanting to relieve stress? What are the things that you already do in your life to relieve stress? Do you have things that you do? Do you take baths or light candles? Or...
Well,
I do this.
yeah. Ray like snuggles with the cats a lot. And sometimes I get jealous of it because there's so much snuggle time, especially with this one. And it's usually while I'm folding the clothes or, you know, doing something else, and then I get a little bit resentful that he's the one snuggling with the cats.
Well, part of what happened with the changing the sides on the bed was that Vivian likes to come onto my side of the bed every night and will be there, and so I get to snuggle with Vivian. And then Sue was saying, well, I never get to snuggle with Vivian because she's always on your side of the bed. And then I said, well, we can change sides of the bed. It's okay. And then we thought it would be really easy, and that she'd be on the other side of the bed and she'd have Vivian there. And then, but as we said before, it just it was pretty rough. You don't realize how hard it is to change the side of the bed until you do it, and you don't realize.
But it sounds like what you're saying is that the real issue is that you thought the cat was going to stay on that side of the bed, but the cat in fact followed Ray, and that brought up some feeling. Oh, that's not, did I not? Okay.
Well, this happened when, like, for instance, say Ray is like out for the night, or maybe he's working late in the basement and might not even come up to the bed till the morning or something. And I might sleep kind of in the middle of the bed. Then Vivian will come up because it's just sort of the side of the bed that's right there. She'll come up and she'll snuggle with me, like where she feels comfortable. She doesn't go walk around the bed and get to the other side. So she will. It's just that night when we switched sides, it's just I didn't sleep well, and yeah, my phone was on the other side and had to reach over each other. So, but I still, every night, now that we've gone back to our original sides, every night Vivian comes up and curls under Ray's arm, and yeah, I just get really jealous. I get jealous. There's a double jealousy. There's a jealousy that Ray's not snuggling with me, and there's a jealousy that I'm not snuggling with Vivian.
I think there's a lot going on there. What I heard was the word snuggle and snuggling about 15 times. So I'm just going to underline that in my notes. Because if I were to set a goal, it might be related to snuggling. How many nights did you actually spend in that switched position, or did you just go back right away after the first night?
I don't even know if we made it through the first night. Did we?
Yeah, we made it through the first night, but that's it. And we went right back.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was me. I think I said, I thought it was going to be so great. And I actually didn't sleep well. And so I was like, well, okay, fine. We'll just go back the other way.
So if we were to write a prescription for a new bed switch, we might say more stones, more snuggling, and then I want to get back to that nose bleeding inspiration for watercolors. You were saying that what happened was that you discovered that you were going to be, and this is a bit of a tangent, but you discovered that you wanted to be a watercolor artist when the blood from your nose dropped onto, was it a Kleenex?
It was actually a grocery list.
Okay, so there was some writing. Did you keep your first work of art?
I don't, that's a good question. I don't think I threw it away, but I'm trying to think of where it ended up. There have been so many new pieces. I think after I went to the store, people were kind of concerned, kind of freak people out, kind of carrying this bloody piece of paper around with me, and so I think I became self-conscious. I think it might be in the car.
Is there any way that Sue could be more patient with you? But I'm just getting back to how Sue said that she wanted to be more patient. Do you think there are times where you think she could be more patient too? I think I just rhymed there. Yeah, I did.
Well, she talks about it a lot. She'll say, like, sorry, I wasn't very patient with you.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think that would uh, be a good goal.
Mm-hmm. What other questions do you have for me about this process?
I don't know. I think it might be something we will probably. I think there's so much that that's been brought up tonight, and I think we'll be churning in our minds about so many of these things that were brought up, and this feels like so much. It feels like it's just going to take a little while for it to digest and fully land with me.
Yeah, and I'm the kind of person who like kind of needs some like concrete, kind of tangible steps. So I'm wondering about that. Is this a like fluid, feel it out kind of process, or am I gonna get some kind of clear steps to take between now and the next time we see each other?
I really like that you're bringing that up because I do work in a very, very fluid way, but I also love steps. So I want you to kind of mesh those two things together right now in your mind. And I drew a couple pictures here while we were talking. And what I drew here is some steps essentially And then I want you to imagine that at the bottom of the steps right here is just a big puddle of water. And we are going down these steps. Oh, I'm sorry. We're going to go, we would want to go up the steps to go, you know, to do better. And we're going to leave this puddle behind here, but our feet are still going to be wet. So we're always going to remember that this puddle, I'll draw some waves just to show that it's water. This puddle here was there and is where we come from, but this up here is where we're going to, okay? And then just a couple other pictures that I drew while you were talking. I think that having concrete steps is a good idea. And so I think unless the two of you were so upset about this bed switch, I think what you should do is turn the bed. So this is very concrete. I want you to turn the bed, but keep your same sides of the bed. So it's the bed that moves and you're still right there where you always were. I mean, granted, the cat is going to be very confused. I'm sure while you're moving the bed, the cat's going to be freaking out, right? But if the three of you, five, if the five of you can get through that night, I think we're going to have a lot to talk about at our next session. Does that help, Sue?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have one other question.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you were talking about objects at the very beginning.
Mm.
And I guess we have talked about, like, I don't know, do we consider Tickles an object? You know, that feels strange to call her an object, Tickles, a porcelain cat. But otherwise, we haven't really talked too much about the objects around us. Is that something we'll get into?
Yes, we will. And you know, I'm so glad you said that because I said that we were going to talk about the objects and then I just talked about my objects, but I didn't let you talk about your objects. So this is another example of how this is a collaboration. But it does look like we're at time. So I think we're going to stop there. And I'm really looking forward to diving into what happened when you turn the bed and kept your stones. And did you want to say something else, Ray?
I just had a question. I was wondering if I just have a rock lamp next to my or a salt lamp next to my side of the bed. But I was wondering if you might have any recommendations for stones that might be good for my side of the bed in my situation. That's amazing.
I've got a salt rock lamp right here. Is that the same one there?
Yeah, this one isn't quite as, this one's a little different color. And the one by next to the bed is different than this one. But yeah,
is yours a Himalayan pink? See?
This one isn't pink. This one is just more white.
Mm.
Beautiful though. Beautiful.
Yours is beautiful. It's beautiful. I think if you could go for a walk and find yourself a rock. Oh, I'm going to write that one down again because that's my second rhyme. Rock walk. Sue too. No, mostly Ray. It sounds like Sue's good on the rocks. But Ray, if you could go for a rock walk and get yourself a rock, that would be great. And then we can all talk about our rocks next time. Okay, a good rock talk. Okay.
Thank you, Mary.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to finally get to have a private one-on-one or well, 2-on-1, or well, 4-on-1 session with you. We've been really looking forward to this for a long time. So thank you so much.
You're so welcome. It's really nice to meet you both.
Thanks, Mary.
Thanks. Bye. Okay, bye.